Welcome to another episode of Don't Waste the Chaos. Today, we're diving into a topic that's transforming how businesses, big and small, approach human resources. That's the topic of AI and automation. For over 20 years, I've worked in human resources, and the rapid advancements of tech we're seeing right now are unlike anything I've seen before. So, if you're an HR pro or a business leader, this is a shift you obviously cannot afford to ignore. Today, we're going to explore how AI is reshaping recruitment, employee engagement, onboarding, and even performance management. Whether you're just starting to think about AI or looking to enhance what you've already got in place, today's episode will give you actionable insights to embrace this new area of business. Let's dig into why automation is no longer optional and what you can do to stay ahead. Now, as an HR consultant that works with tons of clients, I've seen plenty of shifts in workplace dynamics across industries, but I don't think any of them have been as transformative or as rapid as the introduction of artificial intelligence and automation into the world of HR. This tech revolution is no longer a distant future. It's happening right now. Employers who ignore it risk falling behind, while those who embrace it are set to lead in their industries. Here's why you can't afford to overlook AI and automation and what you should do to embrace this new season of tech. The first is that efficiency is the new standard. The days of spending hours manually sorting through resumes, scheduling interviews, or calculating payroll are fading. AI is automatically automating so many of these tedious tasks, bring HR pros and payroll folks to focus on what truly matters, which is strategic decision making, employee development, and leadership. So, automation tools can now handle recruitment tasks like scanning resumes for relevant qualifications, sending follow up emails, or scheduling interviews, cutting down time and human error. They can also do employee engagement surveys that analyze morale trends in real time, providing insights into workforce satisfaction. And while in HR, we have seen that human resource information systems or HR payroll platforms have been able to do portions of this for years. Now, with AI coming into all areas of business, HR pros are going to be forced to move in these directions, which candidly, I'm super glad about. There's no reason to dig in your heels anymore. By offloading these responsibilities to AI, HR teams can work faster and smarter, significantly increasing operational efficiency. And the days of an HR pro complaining and saying, I just want a seat at the table, I can't get a seat at the table. What's happening is you're still living in manual land, so they see you as a transaction master. Let's use AI to get yourself out of that, so that way you can focus on the more strategic needs of the business. Second reason why you can no longer ignore this is data-driven decisions are shaping the future. AI-driven HR tools provide incredible data and analytics capabilities that allow for more informed decision-making. From identifying the best candidates during recruitment to analyzing employee performance trends and predicting attrition rates, these insights can empower leaders to make data-backed choices instead of relying on what you feel like are your gut feelings. For example, AI can flag potential high performers during recruitment, assess skill gaps within teams, or help you fine-tune your succession planning. It can also provide predictive analytics to anticipate employee turnover, allowing companies to act before losing valuable talent. Employers who harness these tools will be able to make proactive rather than reactive decisions. The third reason you can't keep going on ignoring this is because you want to enhance the employee experience. Employees today expect a seamless and modern experience at work, and AI can help deliver that. There are so many organizations that I see that are tech savvy when it comes to their product offering or how they interact with their clients, but how they are treating their employees is a different story. You have to stop this. You're sending two different messages. Tools like chatbots, self-service portals, and AI-driven learning and development platforms provide a personalized and efficient experience. This not only boosts employee satisfaction, but it also helps create a more engaged and motivated workforce. Consider these things: AI-powered learning platforms that recommend courses based on an individual's employee career goals, Also, chatbots that can answer HR related queries 24/7, streamlining the employee experience and freeing up HR pros to focus on the more complex issues. By enhancing the employee journey with AI, companies can create a more adaptable, motivated, and loyal workforce. Fourth reason why we can't keep ignoring it is we want to mitigate bias and enhance our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, especially in a season where so many organizations are foregoing those formal programs or processes, eliminating the staff associated with that. And I have my own personal opinions on that, which I'm going to keep out of this episode. But using AI tools, we can still get those processes accomplished. So, one of the most compelling reasons for integrating AI in the HR process is the potential to reduce human bias in decision making, particularly when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. AI tools can be programmed to remove bias from recruitment by focusing purely on qualifications, experience, and skills rather than any demographic data. However, it's crucial to remember that AI is not foolproof, of course. We know this. It's tech, it's not perfect. So these systems must be regularly monitored and audited to ensure they aren't perpetuating existing biases. Employers must combine the efficiency of AI with human oversight to maintain fairness and equity in the workplace. So, how do you start embracing AI and automation? First, I'd recommend you start small with strategic implementations. Do not try to overhaul everything at once. You're going to get paralyzed by that and likely do nothing. So, identify a few areas like deciding we're going to automate recruitment or we're going to automate performance management where AI can make an immediate impact. The second thing that you can do to embrace it is to invest in training and upskilling. So ensure your HR team understands AI and how to leverage it. Training your staff on how to interpret AI data and collaborate with these tools is going to be a key to success. There's a ton of training out there. They can work with colleagues in the field who are already utilizing these measures. They can attend conferences. There's tons of ways to get up to speed. I would recommend if you're using an HR payroll software, a lot of them already have a ton of training on how to better utilize the system and automate your processes. I would start there if you've already got those tools. Next thing, which is aligned with what I just said, is to partner with tech vendors. So work closely with AI vendors to select the right tools that meet your org needs. Ensure that they are going to provide ongoing support so you're able to integrate the AI effectively. So this, I've got kind of a spin-off comment to make on that. If you've got folks in your AR or HR function or in your office management function that are not tech savvy, you are going to struggle in this area. You might want to consider reevaluating those roles. I know that seems harsh, but we cannot continue to ignore tech, especially just to say, well, we've got a person who's not comfortable with it. They either need to get comfortable or they need to find a realignment in their role. Fourth way that you can embrace these tools is to monitor and adjust as needed. So regularly assess the performance of AI tools if you've got them, or as you're implementing them, make adjustments as necessary. It's essential to continually refine these systems to ensure that they are actually meeting your goals. And it's not just another thing that you put in place that you aren't actually utilizing or getting any value from. Folks, the future of HR and business is here, and ignoring the AI and automation trend in HR is no longer an option. Candidly, I can't believe it's 2024 when I'm recording this and that people are still doing manual processes in the first place. We already have come so far in the world of HR that so many HR departments have not. And it's not just HR departments across industries. There's certain industries that are just slow to take on tech in general. And that is no excuse for your HR department to stay behind. Employers who take proactive steps to integrate these tools, we're going to find themselves more efficient, ahead of competition, and you're going to have a more engaged and data-driven workforce. In the end, the goal of AI isn't to replace HR professionals or any business professionals at all, but to enhance their ability to make more strategic, impactful decisions that drive business success. If there's something in our process that we can automate, that means it was probably, maybe it was valuable in the past, but it's probably not a great use of our time and especially not a great use of our brain. So let's get those tasks automated and move on to a higher function. As someone who's navigated the evolution of HR for over 2 decades, I'm confident that those who embrace this shift are going to emerge stronger than ever. So For those of you who are listening and you're like, I don't have an HR department, it's just an office manager, or my HR department is struggling with this. If you're looking to incorporate AI, start strategically and you can have a huge impact. So here are 5 places that I would recommend where you should focus first, either because they're the path of least resistance or the tools have already been around or it's a little bit easier to implement, not so complex. So the first is in recruitment and candidate screening. Automating resume screening and candidate matching with AI tools can save significant time. AI can filter applications based on skills, qualifications, and experience, helping HR quickly identify the best fit candidates. There are a ton of tools out there. Most of the time, if you have an HR payroll system and you have the add-on ATS module, which is the applicant tracking system, they can already do this for you. Or if you are utilizing Indeed or let's say LinkedIn or another job posting software or hardware, they have tools built in. There's also tools like HireVue and Ideal that are commonly used for this purpose. I personally am certified in Predictive Index. That's a behavioral assessment. That's something that you can automate or outsource as well. There's a ton of things that you can do when it comes to recruitment and candidate screening. Next, pretty simple area to start is onboarding and employee self-service. And I'm just going to say harshly right now, seriously, I can't believe you're not already doing this. These tools have existed for a long time. This wave of AI that I'm seeing come in when I hear HR departments like, oh my gosh, how are we going to implement this? These tools have already existed for decades. I mean, ever since I've been in human resources, I started, I guess, back in 2008. I remember ADP, which is a large HR payroll software, and I am not necessarily promoting their product. There's a lot of other tools out there right now. That's the tool I was using at the time. And we had a ton of add-on options back then, 2008. It's 2024. So when it comes to onboarding and employee self-service, this has been around and it's been refined. So you are not an early adopter here. If you don't already have this, it's time. AI-powered chatbots, though, and virtual assistants, that is a new aspect of it. Take advantage. They can streamline your onboarding by answering common questions, guiding employees through training, and helping them complete their paperwork. This enhances the employee experience and reduces the burden on HR staff. There are a ton of tools, like I've said, that you can put into place, but there are a couple of the top performing ones are Tala and Lena AI for onboarding and for FAQs. The next area that you can have a quick hitting win is performance management. So AI tools can help monitor employee performance in real time. It can identify trends for you and suggest personalized development plans. And at the end of every performance review, you need to have an IDP, an individual development plan. And you can take that performance review data, toss it into AI, and it will put out an IDP for you. There's also systems like Lattice or BetterWorks that offer data-driven insights, helping managers track goals and progress, ensuring feedback is timely and relevant. Again, I mentioned that I am a partner with Predictive Index, and we've got an area that focuses on performance as well. So there's tons of tools out there. Whatever you've got, if I was partnering with your organization right now, the first thing I would do, whether I'm talking about recruitment and candidate screening, or I'm talking about onboarding and employee self-service, or performance management, I'm getting ready to talk about employee engagement surveys and learning and development. The first thing I would do would be to take a look at your current systems that you have and see what we can utilize in those that you're probably already paying for. And your HR team or your office manager just hasn't had the time to get those up and running or doesn't understand, or it's not their area of focus, or for whatever reason, they're not already being utilized. I just signed a new client that I'm kicking off with next week. I'm super excited about it. I asked them what platforms they're using. I'm going to jump in and see how they're utilizing them first, do a full audit on a number of areas, HR tech being one of them. And then I'm going to see, does this platform truly meet their needs? And if we turned it all the way up and focused on internal training and things like that, could we better utilize it? Or is there another more cost-effective, robust platform that would better meet their needs and automate? That's one of the first things I would do with all of these areas is take a look what you've already got. So regardless of what it is, you can improve your current processes. And then there's even better and more robust tools out there probably than what you're using. That's the next step though. You don't have to take that step first. Let's take a look at what you've currently got. Okay, so the next one I was going to mention was employee engagement surveys. You can use AI powered surveys to analyze employee sentiment and engagement, providing insights into morale and organizational health. These tools can offer predictive analytics to highlight potential issues before they escalate. I've heard people use Qualtrics, Tiny Pulse, Skill Survey. Again, Predictive Index has a great tool for this. You can even go, if you've got a SurveyMonkey account, you can even go on SurveyMonkey, use their pre-built survey. They will give you a link. You send it out to your employee population. What it's not going to do is necessarily analyze trends, but you can throw that into, let's say, ChatGPT, if you have a paid version, OpenAI, things like that, to give you the data, or work with a consultant to help you analyze trends and put action plans in place. This is easier than ever. And if you're an HR pro listening to this, do some of these things and look like a genius in your organization. Just go out and learn about it and do it. Fifth quick hitting area where we can make an impact pretty quickly is in learning and development or training and development. AI can personalize training recommendations based on individual career paths, that individual development plan that I mentioned, based on learning styles and skill gaps. This ensures that your employees get targeted development opportunities. That's new, right? To have it targeted, that's really great. That's advanced, increasing engagement and skill retention. There's a ton of tools out there. Again, a lot of your HR payroll softwares have learning management system modules that you can have as an add-on, but there's also Degreed, Coursera for Business to use AI to customize learning experiences. Tons and tons and tons of options out there. So starting small with AI and HR helps departments see the value quickly while gaining the experience needed to scale AI-driven initiatives. By focusing on the 5 areas I just mentioned, even small HR teams can improve efficiency, enhance employee experience, and make data-driven decisions. This is a must. This is a must right now in your business. And if it's something that you can't personally tackle, you've got to hire a consultant like me or a peer in the industry, or bring a person on board to do this for you, because your business is going to get left behind. I spent a chunk of my career working in insurance. And when I first got into the industry, I was mind blown at how archaic it was. Now, I'm not talking about on the carrier side of things. Insurance carriers have risk management and underwriting data, and they are utilizing reports in a very amazing way. But your risk advisor, if you're especially working with a smaller agency, most of them are behind the times when it comes to tech. One of the first things that I did was implement our internal system, so that way our human resources department and all of our onboarding was slick Rick when it came to technology. Because then when I go to talk to the client managers or the risk advisors and say, now we're going to further the experience on the tech side for the client experience, they understand this is who we are. If we are onboarding our folks in an archaic way, and then we're like, hey, we're super tech savvy when it comes to clients, we are speaking out of both sides of our mouths, and our employees are going to have more space to push back. And so we've got to make sure that our HR processes reflect who it is that we're trying to be out in the marketplace as well. You can no longer stay behind in your internal processes and then try to act like externally we are this amazing tech savvy forward thinking company that's relevant to our clients. You've got to make those two marry. I know that this can seem like chaos, but the work is worth the effort, I promise you. And if there's anything that I can do to help, even just come in and do an HR audit and help point you in the right direction, I am so happy to do that. I've got a consulting firm called Salt and Light Advisors, and we focus on HR and people operations. And we're not just consultants or an advisory firm that comes in and tells you what to do. We can certainly do that. We do our HR audit, and then we can guide you in the right direction. But if you're like, okay, that's great, but then who does the work? We also pick up a portion of the work for you if you don't have the man or woman power to pick it up internally. So just something for you to think about. This chaos is worth it. I know going into the world of tech can seem wild. You know, some of us have just been taking the, Apple or the Samsung upgrades as they come, and we don't really understand technology. And that's really not an excuse that we can stand any longer. We can't just say like the younger generation's going to get it and we just don't get it. You're going to get left behind. And when we're talking about upskilling, and I did a previous episode on upskilling, when we talk about upskilling, so much of that is going to be around tech adaptation. It's just going to be, it's already where we're at, and it's going to be a requirement moving forward. So don't waste this chaos. Embrace it. Until next time.